Good early Wednesday morning, everyone. It is Trevor Ross with Peace in the Valley Ministries, and today, what about Trump, part 2? We're going to try to make this a little shorter, but I want to clear up some things I said yesterday. I want to talk about the Christians that are trying to excuse this, and I want to talk about a little bit of public apology or not, how I feel about this. So, one of the things I'll start with, I didn't rewatch yesterday yet, like I should have. One of the biggest things I said, because I couldn't think and I was distracted at the time, I threw off the whole thing of Christ's idea. And what I was saying is, it is Christ's idea for us to pray over each other. It is Christ's idea for us to pray for each other. Not for us to dress as Christ and be blasphemous. That is not the idea of Christ. And I think you guys understood what I was saying there, but the way I said it was not good. That's the biggest thing I can think of that really needed cleared up. So let's move into talking about the way Christians are excusing this. I watched a man yesterday say, y'all want me to come on here and condemn Trump. You want me to come on here and expose Trump because I'm exposing religion. He's supposed to be Christian, mind you. And his response was, I've communicated with Trump. Trump has a sense of humor like I do, and he was trying to stir the pot. As a Christian, if you call that humorous, you call that stirring the pot, you call that excusable, what kind of Christian does that? What kind of Christian does that? I'll tell you what kind of Christian does that. The kind of Christian that does that is a Christian who has not read his Bible. Blasphemy is not excusable in any way, shape, or form, in any fashion. It is fully and utterly disgusting, awful, and evil. Someone else brought up a great point. He said, I'm not excusing Trump. I'm not doing anything. He said Trump did what he did. He deserves to be mocked. He deserves to be, ridiculed for what he did. He said, but how many of you Christians, how many of you on the other side got mad when people were getting arrested for praying outside of clinics? And if you don't know what I mean by clinics, I'm talking about abortion clinics. But how many of you got mad at that? That was no better. And so I do understand that, and I understand the response that he had. I'm not saying he excused it, but what I'm saying is, if you're a Christian condoning this, again, I said this yesterday, what are you doing? If you're a Christian condoning this, what in the world is your thought process? The Bible talks about blasphemy being 100% inexcusable. And so I genuinely want to know what you're doing. I want to know your thought process. I want to know everything, because this is disgusting. Apparently Trump made a public apology, which I didn't even hear about. All I know is I watched the thing where he said it was supposed to be a doctor and I do heal people. And obviously we know that's not the case. That's not That's not anything that is true. But apparently he made a public apology. And I understand that. And I understand him saying, I'm sorry for anyone I've offended. But listen, your apology goes so far with man. And it goes about as far with God. When you claim to be a Christian, when you claim to want to make America a Christian nation, and then you turn around and do what you did. It only goes so far. It's only excusable to an extent. And that extent is about the width and the length of my pinky nail. So these are my thoughts. It's awful. It's disgusting. It's a disgrace to America as a whole. Because our money, in God we trust, our Pledge of Allegiance, one nation under God, and yet you mock God the way that Donald John Trump Sr. did on Monday, April 13th, 2026. You have 110% messed up this nation. You've messed up everything. You've messed up the Christian population. You messed up their trust in you when they were a lot of your vote. And so you've messed up a lot of stuff that way. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. April 13th, 2026 is when I lost respect and when Donald John Trump Sr. lost my support. His policies, I've agreed with some of them. I've disagreed with some of them over the past year that he's been in office. But I'll tell you this much. As a person, I will probably never support him again. And as for some of the calls he's made, I'm going to... I'm going to have to rethink a whole lot of stuff that I've said and done in support of Donald Trump. And so, thank you guys for everything you've done. And I'll see you in the next one.